Hey there! Welcome back to Reddit Dating, best channel for cheating stories. Make sure to like and subscribe the channel for more spicy stories.
I 22 male just walked in on my girlfriend 21 female of 7 years having sex with my roommate 22 male. In light of the fact that my final class of the day had been cancelled, I decided to come home and surprise my girlfriend with a surprise visit. Then I went to the store and got everything she needed to make her favorite meal for the rest of the evening, lasagna. As I was carrying her baggage up the stairs and placed it in front of the front door, I heard my girlfriend groaning, and I quickly reached into my pocket and retrieved my keys from there. Consequently, I did not have any type of aha moment or anything like that while she was taking care of herself. I believed she was doing so simply because that is what she does when I am not around. The moment I walked through the door, she and my roommate were already seated on the couch. It took me a little while to realize what I was looking at as I opened the door. As soon as he realized it was me, his face became crimson, and I ran to the bathroom to see what was going on. The fact that I didn't kick his shins as hard as I intended to was compensated for by just dropping the bags and walking away. They both called at me to stop just as I was getting into my car, but I simply slammed out of there as fast as I could and fled out the opposite side of the parking lot. When I got off the phone with my closest buddy, I informed him what had happened. He offered to kick me in the shins, but I rejected respectfully. I didn't want him to get himself into any sort of trouble as a result of what happened. I even had the engagement ring in my hands, which I meant to use to pop the question to her this summer when we were on vacation together. I know she isn't aware of its presence since it is locked away in my safe, which I keep in the closet. I had hoped to spend the rest of my life with her, and that was my aim. What on earth was I thinking? What was I thinking? Why didn't I see this coming? Fortunately, my last session was cancelled, so I was able to get home by 12:30 p.m. instead of the previously scheduled 12 p.m. So it's been more than 4 hours since the last update. My phone has been ringing continually from both of them, and I haven't even bothered to look at any of the messages or pick up any of the phone calls that have come in since they started. I made sure she wasn't affiliated with any of my accounts by contacting the financial institution where I was banking. Then, later tonight, I'm going to go back and pack up all of her possessions so that I can bring them to her apartment the following day. Following that, I'll most likely take a bag of clothes to my friend's house and stay there till school is over, 3 weeks. What do you think I should do next is your recommendation. Update. First and foremost, I'd want to express my gratitude to each and every one of you who has provided me advice, been an ear to rant/yell into, or been a shoulder to weep on. When I posted my initial edit, several of you messaged me, telling me not to drink, that I was better than that, and that this was not the right thing to do. Thank you very much for your kindness. For supper, a buddy and his sister treated me as though they were trying to take my mind off of things. I wasn't feeling very motivated at the time, but I reasoned that it would be better to attempt to divert my attention to something completely unrelated. My pals invited a few of my other friends to join them, and the 6 of us went out to supper together. At first, I wasn't really into it, and I was feeling a little sad, but my buddies did all they could to lift my spirits and make me feel better. I can honestly say that I adore my pals and appreciate everything they've done for me over the years. Emily, my best friend's sister, was the one who looked through all of the texts on my phone from the 2 of them and deleted everything that didn't belong there in the first place. Her texts came from my phone, and she texted both of them, informing them that she was the one who was texting and informing her that a friend would be by at a specific time to pick up my belongings tomorrow, and he texted back, informing her that I would be by tomorrow to pick up some belongings, and that I was going to attempt to get out of the lease by speaking with my landlord, and she texted back, informing him that he would be by tomorrow to pick up some belonging. I appreciate you taking the time to read this and reply. Today or tomorrow, I'd want to react to a small number of them. I'm completely fatigued, but I wanted to convey my thanks on behalf of the entire community for your aid. Finally, I'd want to say a few words to everyone who has been in a situation similar to the one I'm now in, or who has been in a situation that is even slightly similar to my current position. First and foremost, nothing your XSO did may be construed as a slight against you. In the same way, their acts disclose what kind of person they are. Similarly, your replies reveal what kind of person you are. Second, you are all a lot more powerful than you are aware of at this point. Many of you have offered me excellent advice, and you understand exactly where I'm coming from. Thank you very much for your help. Thank you very much for your help. Even if it's not always easy to bring up the subject, many of you did so in an effort to assist a complete stranger on the internet, and for that, I am quite grateful. Finally, many of you will have considerably more interesting things to look forward to in the future than you already do. For example, as one of my past professors pointed out, it's the same as moving on to the next book in a series when you finish one. You may have to wait a short period of time for the author to release it, but you will be well compensated for your patience. Also, I'd want to express my gratitude to the kind stranger who gifted me with gold. I'm planning to make a $5 gift to a charitable organization tomorrow as a result of your efforts. You may either select your favorite charity and make a gift, or you can simply be kind to someone else. It could make a major impact in their life. Edit: I'm presently living at the home of one of my closest friends. Both he and his sister have been really supportive of me during this process. When their doorbell rang barely 5 minutes ago, they were startled. She was the one who committed the crime. His sister has stepped in to assist him. When I was about to go yell at her, I got sidetracked and started drinking Fireball instead. Before school is out for summer break, it will be a very long couple of weeks. Story number 2. This is the first time in almost 2 years that my girlfriend, 28 female, and I, 29 male, have not had a relationship, and I can't go on like this. What am I supposed to do? During our time together, she has been dealing with a terrible ailment that flares up every few years. It has pretty much decided to re-emerge at random during our relationship. I adore her and want to spend the rest of my life with her, but I'm terrified of the prospect of doing so. I know I'm being selfish, but it's becoming increasingly tough for me as time has progressed. Even if she feels horrible about herself, I feel ugly and undesirable as a result of it. I feel self-centered, yet this is something that is really essential to me in a relationship. On top of that, she is dealing with some intimacy concerns as a result of a traumatic experience. While I understand that it shouldn't be everything in a relationship, I believe that it is essential for my well-being. Even though I've been in love with her for a very long time, we've only been together for a little over 2 years. I can count the number of times we've had a disagreement on one hand in that period. She also doesn't really make up for it in other ways, which makes me feel unappreciated and like I'm a burden in our relationship. To be really honest, even when she kisses me, it feels like she's doing me a favor at times. She became very upset one night, not at me, when I vented to her about it, and she burst into tears and expressed her concern that I would end up resenting her. Of course, I swore I'd never do it, and that was true, but the more I think about it, the more I'm beginning to believe it. I'm starting to despise minor things about her, and I'm starting to feel insecure and depressed as a result. It truly draws attention to all of her shortcomings, as well as my weaknesses, and the defects in our relationship. I'm feeling deprived in every manner, and it sometimes feels like she doesn't seem to care. I'm at a loss for what to do since I'm feeling so empty and self-centered that it seems like nothing I do to comfort her or be there is effective, and I simply get the feeling that I'm not receiving what I require. As best friends, the only reason I didn't pursue a romantic connection with her was because I didn't want a failed romance to derail our friendship. I really just want to quit up and die right now. I'm also in recovery from addiction and have been sober for 4 months, but the more this gnaws at my heart, the more I want to give up and relapse, or simply give up and end everything. I'm feeling absolutely alone and unattractive as a result of